53 total yards of offense in the first half for the Steelers. We were talking some before the pod about the critical 4th and 1 play in the second half. You've covered this league for a long, long time. What do the Steelers need to do to try to fix some of their offensive struggles through the first 4 weeks of the season?
Well, you got 2 good running backs, and obviously Kenny Pickett is struggling. He made some decisions, and I'm not just talking about with the ball. I'm talking about which way he would turn. Like, really, that sack on 4th and 1 by Jonathan Grenard, it was a difference maker, but Pickett went right into it. He was being blocked by the left tackle, and then all of a sudden Grenard sees Pickett coming right to him, so he just sheds, take a couple steps right, and sacks him. And to me, that was on Pickett. And then I know you guys have not heard this before, so I'll tell you something I know that is not being said up there. Okay. Canada's doing a terrible job. And some of that play calling being the shotgun on 4th and 1, and you got Najee Harris, who is having a really good third quarter, powering the ball. That was just a bad play call. Putting it in Pickett's hands instead of Harris's hands, especially when Harris was running so effectively, that was just a bad play call. And that's, Mike Tomlin said there's going to be changes made. I'm guessing it's not going to be on his staff. I'm eager to see what that is. But they just don't look like your typical Mike Tomlin coach team right now. And it's not like Tomlin got stupid all of a sudden. It's probably the players, personnel, but it doesn't look like they're making the best use of their personnel either. Or maybe the Texans just a whole lot better than I think they are. And maybe they will be. I picked them to win 6 games, doubling last year's win total. And I'm like, oh, boy, everybody else is picking them to be second worst team in the league to Arizona. And so I may have to rethink that, but it's going to take a few more games before I do. But the Steelers kind of look discombobulated. They're not they don't strike fear anybody on defense. I've been coming to Pittsburgh since the late 70s. And, boy, teams used to hate going to Three Rivers. They hated going to Heinz Field at times, but it was Three Rivers when they hated it the most, and teams don't hate to come there anymore.
I mean, you said, John, you said something right there. You said something right. When I played, the first thing that came out of opposing teams' mouth was, we know we got to bring our big boy pass, and we know we got to play physical against Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
I don't hear that as of late now. I do hear that when they talk about the San Francisco 49ers, you got to bring your big boy pass. I don't hear that of late talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think that's an issue, John. I think that's a problem. I think by the end of the day, I do want to see Pittsburgh back to their old days of the physicality part, where people are scared to come into Pittsburgh and they know they got to be in the cold tub after the game for the next week. That's what I love to see. I would love to see headlines being other teams, opposing teams, talking about Pittsburgh and the physicality of Pittsburgh. That's what I would love to see. And the reason why I would love to see that is just proving. When you walk up on the second floor on the south side at the facility and you see them six Lombardis, the first thing you think about is physicality on the defensive side, and everybody was just scared to play them, and they'll just run the air out the ball. We used to call it a 6-minute offense. When I played and we was winning Super Bowls, we couldn't wait till 8 minutes was left because we knew Jerome Bettis and Deuce Staley and Willie Parker would just run the air out the ball for 6 minutes. So we didn't have a 2-3 minute offense. Coach Kyle wanted that at a certain point in time. We're gonna run this ball for 6 minutes, and that said a lot about the personality. You can only imagine the training camps that we had, John, with the Jerome Bettises and the Deuce Staleys and them guys sitting in the backfield 240 plus. But that's what I'm missing. That's what I miss seeing.
It all starts up front on both sides of the ball. That physicality came. You mentioned those running backs. You knew they were going to pound and pound and pound some more. And it started with the offensive line. And you knew that front seven with good linemen and great linebackers, they were going to shut you down. And I watched it when I covered the Oilers from 77 till they left here after the 96 season. And then I've seen it since, but it's got to start up front with the linemen and mentality. And Tomlin's got that mentality. That's his
Right,
trademark, but
right.
they got to get the players and the other coaches to carry it out.
Yeah, John, I'm with you there too, because Pickett's best play was on a scramble to the left outside of the pocket. Najee Harris picks up blitz protection and leaks out and catches the ball, falls down, gets back up, and goes for, I don't know, another 10 or 15 yards. That play's not scripted, right? Like a good coordinator is going to have scripted plays for his young quarterback. Kenny Pickett's in his 16th start, on time, on target. Here's how we're going to try to execute the game plan. That's just a play is broken down in the backyard. You're trying to make something out of nothing. I need to see more scripted plays of, hey, here's where you're going to go with the football to get the ball in the hands of our playmakers, schemed up. I just haven't seen enough of that with Canada.
I can't wait to see how the Steelers bounce back. And then who do they play next?
Baltimore.
So they play Baltimore, and that's going to be a physical game. Texans began the season at Baltimore.